So we are live. Just gonna switch you guys up just a little higher. There we go. So now you guys can see me. I can see you. How's everybody doing? Everybody knows me. Brian Rose here from Yugi Bozo. I wanted to do some meta talk discussion. I went to locals last night with. I tried to play a different little bit of version of my Cash Tira, and it was okay. Trap Tricks is really good, and I feel like that right there is kind of one of them. It's not really. I don't know if we want to call it rogue or not, but it's kind of rogue to me. I don't want to have to set my deck up just to deal with Trap Trick, because then I just kind of lose to that. Like, I don't want to have to build just for one whole side deck just for that. So I started thinking, like, what could we change in the main that could kind of help a little bit more against that matchup. Give me a second. Let me switch you guys a little bit here. There you go. I mean, I tried Lightning Storms. I tried other stuff last night. I put Evenlies in the main just to kind of see if that would help. Because I figured it'd be good against the mirror, which it was. It wasn't bad. I was helping a guy last night as we was doing the mirror match. I was kind of, since it's like local, I don't take it super serious. Unless it's like places I don't really care for, because I don't want to lose to the people I don't like. So last night I was helping the guy kind of learn to play the decks against me, like in the mirror, what to do, what not to do. It was pretty cool to help him. It was nice, because you don't have to be an asshole to everybody. I mean, just be nice and teach people. And he was just like really appreciative, which was very, very nice. We went to Whirlwind Gaming. Shout out to them for sure. They are awesome people. I don't get to go there very often because it's an hour and a half away, and it's on Wednesdays. They do Saturdays too, but theirs is a little early on Saturdays, and I'd much rather drive a half hour and just do my normal locals to people. But does not mean that I will not show up on Saturday. So everybody at Whirlwind that watches this video, keep an eye out for me. I may be there. But yeah, he was super appreciative, which was really awesome to me. I got to teach him how to play everything correctly, help him explain like interactions, and the correct way of how to use Rebirth. And he didn't really know a whole lot about it, but it's okay. So it was fun to help out. With my side deck, I'm going to switch a bunch of stuff up. Like I said, there was a good little bit of stuff that I played and I didn't care a whole lot for. I'll show you guys real quick if you want to take a nice little glance down here. So on the side deck that I played, there's a glare, I'm sorry, but I played it's kind of standard stuff here. I played the 3 Shifter, I played the 2 Nibiru, played the 2 Droll. That's all the monsters in the side deck that I played. We'll get back to these in just a second, because I also played 2 Lightning Storm. This card was kind of like, I guess, especially against the Trap Trick deck, because they search, or they put that I can't even pronounce that thing's name, in the graveyard, and they just use the new trap card, summon it back, and their spells and traps ain't destroyed once per turn. So I'm like, maybe we cut this and we max out on some other cards. Like I said, now I put 2 Evenly in the main because I was only siding 2 Evenly. So I decided to put 2 Book of Moon out of the main and put them into the sideboard. It was just, for the mirror and stuff like that. It was just something to kind of test out. Of course, they're gonna disappear out of the side, but I played Harpy's Feather Duster too. It's a good generic card to just out, but everybody's playing like Heavenly Prisons that they just get easily. They're also playing the Trap Trick. So, I mean, I guess if you can bait one out and you just hit them with that next, it's pretty solid. But I don't know. We're going to switch some stuff up and decide from there. And I played the 3D Barrier. D Barrier is freaking nuts. But, so back to what I was saying. I'm going to switch out some stuff for sure. These, like, the shifters, the D barriers is 100% staying in, no matter what. And I'm still going to keep the feather duster. I still think this card is still good for blowout. If they're not good players and they don't set up that whole lock, you just blow them out with one card. So we have technically 4 cards to play with here. And in the main board, like I said, we're going to go ahead and probably drop evenlies out. I only played 2 evenly. I don't think it's super relevant. I didn't win any die roll either, so that's why I was like, thank God. So we might put this back to the sideboard. And so we have 4 spots open. And if I drop these 4 spots, I was thinking of running the 3rd Nibiru. I definitely want to run the 3rd Droll. And then the other 2 spots would be either the 2 evenly, and if we don't run the 3rd Droll, we just run 3 evenly. Yes, it is one of those badass hats because we got an event coming up. So back to what I was saying here, though, is there is a lot of application of this is way better because it doesn't destroy. This is kind of one of those cards that they kind of destroy. It's good or bad. Most of the time, you don't want to hit the monsters either because Rafflesia is in defense, and they just stop them from being destroyed by card effects, which sucks. So I'm thinking definitely going to cut this completely. I'm going to play the 2 evenly in its spot, and I'm going to probably cut the Book of Moon out and play the 3rd evenly. Cut this Book of Moon out and play the 3rd nib. Because I didn't have any issues with the mirror match at all. Like, the mirror matches they're pretty standard, easy to break boards. As long as you know, granted, you're going to know because you're just going to rip their extra deck apart. And you're like, oh, okay, well, it's Kashtira. You're not going to activate your Shingala and be like, well, go ahead, summon 1, make Zeus, kill me. That's not how it's going to work. Unless you're a bad player and you do that stuff. So I was expecting some Dark World too, but there was no Dark World. I'm really surprised. But I think this right here in the mirror match is pretty solid too. Especially if you don't set up the what's it called? The Rise Heart. Or even if you do, they just Book of Eclipse it or something stupid to get rid of it. And you just have this as the follow-up. It's really good too. So I may leave this at 2. I don't know. I like it at 2. I drew it once. And I'm like, it's okay. But definitely gonna move to the 3 evenly match, which sucks because I got these Ulti Book of Moons, dude, and these things are expensive, and I love them. Like, I want to play them, but I'm not gonna. So that's what we're gonna set up there. So now we have open spots in the main deck. Now we have like two open spots. These are going to go, like I said, these are all going to get switched out in time. I'll probably just do it here in just a little bit. That's not an issue. All I know is, like, Saturday is... there's OTS championships and everything Saturday, but I'm not going to go to those. I have my daughter's birthday party, so I can't really go to those or anything. But I will be going to locals sometime at that night and everything. So, main deck's pretty standard shit. I'll show you just like some cards like I want to set up correctly. You know, what I liked and what I did not like. I definitely like the fact that, you know, I cut the second Rise Heart. It helped out a lot. Stopped with the bricking and everything. I think I only bricked 1 time last night. And, I mean, it wasn't horrible. The only matches I lost to it, like I said, I was teaching that one guy how to play the mirror. I lost to him, and which that was fine. And then I also lost to my buddy Byron playing Trap Trick. But that's kind of just how that goes. Favorite card. This card is so good. Lance, it helped out a lot of matches. Dude, I have not seen any Labyrinth. I don't understand it. That's probably, to me, I feel like that's one of the best decks, is Labyrinth. So, I played 3 Lance. Definitely one of my favorite cards. You just make the Arise Heart, set the Lance, and you just feel like, well, good luck beating me this game. And then, I'm gonna switch you guys back down here so you can see some cards here too. So, everybody's playing 3 Book of Eclipse in the main, which I hate because you're getting Ash Blossomed. So I played just the 2 Book of Eclipse and 1 Book of Moon. I mean, most of the time in the mirror, you're only outing one prismatic card because they're like, oh, lava golems. And, well, I just Book of Moon that guy, you're Rise Heart, and I'm back in the game. That's why I'm like, okay, so maybe we'll try 2-1. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really solid. If I was to drop, like, just leave 2 Book of Eclipse and drop this out. I feel like I would probably drop. I'm also running the Cast Hero Terra Element one too. I may cut it. If I cut that, I may run 2 Lava Golem. But it doesn't help me. That's good for the mirror and all, but it doesn't help me versus Trap Trick or Labyrinth. I'm just like, well, what could we main to really out it? I don't want to main evenly matches because I don't think that's smart. I feel like impermanence is just there. A lot of the times, like if you're in the mirror, I'm hoping you see a lot more mirror. But with the rise, like the surprise rising of like Trap Trick, it is like, man, did we really, like, is Imperm really that great? Like, what are we really Imperming? Are we like Imperming the normal summon or like Murmillo? Like, oh god, well, activates Murmillo, you Impermits them, and they're like, well, Sierra effect, and they just spiral out of control, and I just lost a card. I mean, granted, it's an easy side out card going into game 2 and 3, but I feel like there could be so much more. With, just like I said, though, with the eclipses in the main, I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and contemplate on what I want to do, but I definitely do not take Trap Trick lightly. That deck is really good, and it's good at what it does. It's pretty consistent. All you need is just 1 Trap Trick, and the Sierra will just get you into everything. And once that deck starts spiraling out of control, you're just like, well, what do I do? Especially since, like, this reminds me so much of Stellar Knight, where your first summon has to be there or you're going to lose the game. Because that's the way it was for Stellar Knight. So if, like, you summoned Deneb and they stopped your Deneb, you're like, well, set 5 past turn. Well, this one can't set 5 past turn. All this can really do is activate Birth, normal summon, and then that's all you have. And you're just like, well, shit. That is not good. So I'm going to flip you guys up here as I talk to you, and then I'm going to go over my deck a little bit more, and I'll give you guys like a deck profile, a little bit more of it. And then I'll discuss more and more as I go through of my little text for this weekend for anybody going to the OTS. Versus, like, because I can't go, sadly. Because I would love to go. I would definitely love to, just to play Chris Pike again. Let me get all this organized. So what's everybody else playing right now that's talking? Or it's in my chat there. I've been riding the Castira because, man, I absolutely love this deck. It's probably one of my favorite decks that I have played in a while. Since, like, I mean, I played the Flu for a long time, too. That was because I was just tired of going, and I didn't want to do the time thing. Like, well, we're just going in the time, and that's the end of that. I just didn't want to do that. But, dude, I absolutely love this deck a lot. I think this is probably the most fun I've had since I played Eldritch. You're going to take... Yeah, I don't blame you. Cash Adventure's not horrible. Remember what I just said this, though, okay? There's, like, this #1 card that everybody's playing, and that they're playing 2 of it in the main, and it seems to be in everybody's fucking hand. Lava Golem. You're going to get Lava Golem, and, dude, you're going to regret your life. You're just going to get wrecked. And it sucks so bad. Now, I'm going to just, when I go to explain this deck profile that I'm doing right now, I'm not switching anything out, so. Marine Cess, you're thinking about picking up Trap Trick? Dude, trust me when I tell you, like, don't play the Marine Cess, because it's easy out, like I just said. Lava Golem, and everybody's starting to do the tech of, what's it called? The Kaijus. It's not worth it. You set, like, on a monster floodgate, unless it stops special summoning, you're kind of like, well, shit. So, what I would do is, I would definitely play the Trap Trick deck, but listen to me, Nick, you need to play test that mirror match. because your trap cards don't do absolute shit to your trap trick monsters. There's a way to play around that though. I mean, you seen what I've done. It was easy as hell. Is you just go turn 1, you summon Unicorn or Fenrir, then you get the whole play of Fenrir, Unicorn, Riseheart. You banish their 3, and you banish your 1, and then you just make the hard a Riseheart. And if you have a Lance, dude, that's pretty much it. Like, what's Kashtira really gonna do? I don't think there's a whole lot. I mean, if you know when to hit the right cards and when not, especially if you open up like a Book of Moon or Eclipse, it's rough. And the Ash Blossom, I mean, you can just kind of continue to go. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff you need to really play test in this format. It's definitely not like last format where you can just kind of build something and go into it and like, well, you know, I'm just gonna get tier element. I ain't got nothing else to worry about. That's not this format. This one here, you just kind of like, if you're especially if you're playing cash, you're really gambling. Like, what do they have? What are they playing? The books? Are they playing lava golems? Because a lot of people aren't. They're just playing the Birus over the lava golems. A lot of people are playing the cross-out Detonators to out everything so they can guarantee themselves full combo. I thought about that build too because I have cross-outs. Are they playing the whole 6 books? Or, you know, what are they exactly playing? What do you think they're playing? And that's the shitty part. Is you really got... Are they playing the Kaiju Slumber and with Kaiju stuff to out your boards? And it sucks because I don't want to gamble. Yeah, you need to play test too, man. 100%. I hate the gambling part of, like, playing this deck. It's kind of like, if I go... You try to lock zones as normal. Like, that's the key thing to this deck everybody's doing right now. They're like, haha, I locked all 5 of your spells and traps. And I summon a Fenrir. I'm like, okay. Special summon a Fenrir. Enter battle phase. I'm going to attack your 3,000 guy. No effect. Main phase 2. A Riseheart. Sure. Zeus. Sure. Zeus effect. And then you just lost. You lost the mirror because of 1 card. It gets rough. It's very rough. There's a few little things, like other stuff you could do to kind of help with that matchup, but I feel like the Adventure one is way easier than the Pure. Because the Pure, you have a lot more utility, I feel like. With the Adventure package, you have what? An Omni Negate, and then maybe a Lock Zone set up. It's not that great. You're just asking to get Lava Golem, and that's what I hate. Or Kaiju too, because like I said, one perfect Kaiju just like ends your day. And granted, like if you do this against like you just make the Riseheart, I mean you ain't outplaying the Kaiju anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That's why I feel like the matchup's so good. You kind of I feel like you have to play Nibs in the main, so I may end up moving to Nibs in the main. You guys want here? I'll show you. Show you my deck profile in just a second. Make everything organized. I mean, this is what I would have played if I got to go this weekend. 100%, because I really like this deck a lot. I felt like my list is pretty good. Definitely from Cash, what's his name, Couch, all of them. They did a great job on making the list correctly, but everybody's adjusting to that list, and now they're just not playing so many like just books. They're actually playing good board wipes of kaijus and stuff again, which is pretty cool. Make sure I have everything. Yep. Okay. So this is my take on Kashtira for what I did last night. Is it good? So we'll start monsters and everything. We played 3 Ash Blossoms. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing special. This card's really good against Branded. You just hit their Branded Fusion. You're like, well, my turn. Unless they go with the Ecclesia play, you still don't care. It's not enough. I played the 3 Fenrirs, standard stuff. 3 Unicorns, pretty standard. I only played the 2 Riseheart. I never missed the 3rd one at all. And when I seen this card, it was like pretty solid at the time when I have to. But most of the time, you just search it out. You don't even give a shit. Of course, the one of Scareclaw, probably the best underrated card in here. The Ogre for the combo. Like I said, I'm probably going to cut this card. It was, to me, I thought it was cool just because it was an extender. But this can be anything you guys want it to be. This could be a Nibiru. If you play the cross out, I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. You just drop summons like the books and stuff, and then you just kind of make this as the Nibiru, because you only have to play one. But I'm going to maybe move to a little different. So, pretty standard lineup for monsters. Trap or spells, it's a 3-field spell. Like I said before, I've said it in a video, I never realized how important the field spell was, other than just the fact that it searches. I'm like, man, this card will help you with the OTKs, along with popping cards without them really paying attention to what the field spell does. The card is insane, but not as crazy as Theosis. Theosis is, especially if you already have the Rise Heart up with that whole combo, even if they nib you, you still get so much advantage from this whole play. So, yeah, definitely play the 3-3. It's nothing special. This one, I was at 2 for the longest time. And then, like, I went back and forth of 2 and 3, 2 and 3. But just drawing the birth is crazy. Yeah, it's not bad to hit your opponent's top, but I feel like they'll get their tops, but you're opening up, like, say they opened up subpar. And you mill their top 3 and it gets banished as normal. And then they have this in their hand. You just set them up for a complete better game, and you're like, well, that was a bad idea. That's why I like the Rise Heart more. This does the same thing on making them send the top 3, but banish face down. That's all I care about. I don't care about if their stuff gets banished face up, because I don't want them to, like, well, summon Fenrir, you answer your response with your own Rise Heart, and then they just go, bam. And then I just set their whole board up. I'm like, shit, well, that didn't go as well as I wanted it to go. So remember that, like, if you're banishing their top 3, if they're face up, you're setting this whole play up along with preparations. So just a little bit of, food for thought. Consistent cards. I only played the typical pots. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say here. But I'll show you some of my targets and stuff, and why I send what I send off. Which I had to explain to that guy last night. He's like, I'm new to the deck and everything. I'm just trying to learn. Like, you pot for 6 every time. Like, what's your normal send? So I'm gonna show you guys here in just a couple minutes when I get the extra deck. My normal sends. The best card in the deck ever is 3 Lance. Lance is such a busted card right now. Because, like I said, if you make the Rise Heart and you set this card, I feel like it's almost 100% guarantee win to me. It's like 100% the way I feel. They kaiju me, I cry. That's just the way that is. Like, you're not beating the kaiju anyways. But this card's so freaking good. Last night, like I said, the mirror, he normal summoned the Rise Heart, and his only play was to activate Theosis, target the Rise Heart. So I chained Lance targeting, and it was so good. And of course, I played the 2 Eclipse and 1 Book of Moon. I hate this card just because of Ash Blossom. I will do everything possible to, like, try to get them to bait the Ash before I jam this card. And of course, Book of most of the time you just have one problem, and they can't Ash this. And then the last one's just terraforming. You just 4-field spell, nothing special. I also thought about playing 1 Necro Valley in the sideboard, just so Trap Trick has to have their trap in the graveyard. But if I thought about it like a little bit more, is it doesn't matter, because they just activate a normal trap, Sierra effect, bring out Murmilio, pop your field spell, and you're like, well, that was a fucking waste of time. Trap cards, I run 5. 3 Imperm. I don't know how I'm feeling about this card. I cited it out a lot because, like I said, I played a lot of Trap Trick and stuff yesterday. So it does absolutely nothing. This card sucks ass. But I'm pretty sure you're not going to see all Trap Trick all day. So it's an easy card to side out, which is really good. I mean, everybody always has a hard time figuring out what to side out because they don't want to tear up their engine and everything. Well, tell you what, in Trap Trick matchup, this is your easiest side out possible. I'm plussing another thing too in the Trap Trick matchup. That's why I like Book of Moon over the Eclipse, is I can just Book of Moon, I hit the Rafflesia, and I don't have to worry about them ashing my book, and then I can continue to play. All I gotta do is play through the actual traps that they set, and you should know what they set, at least 1 or 2 of them. Big Bang, standard. And then the preparations. This card has been really good for me, especially in the trap trick matchup. You just flip this up and then you start ripping cards. Along with, you get to summon everything from the hand or the banish zone, which is really good. So that's the main deck. I mean, I like I said, there's a few little things, as I discussed right there, what I would like to change and play, but it's really going to come down to a lot of playtesting. And since Nationals is coming up, hopefully soon, I want to playtest a lot, man. That's why I was trying to find a locals today just to go play. Field Center. Everybody was going crazy because I play the Uganda tokens. These are my zone lockers. Last night I got to lock 10 zones on a guy. It was nice. So in the main, and this is what I thought was correct too, is I played 3 Arise Heart. In the mirror, they rip one, and then you make one, and they out it. You're just like, well, this is your big boss guy. So I never had the issue of losing all 3. Most of the time when I make one, I'm perfectly fine, and you're just sitting there like, well, good luck. 2 of the, Chandeliers. This card, I hate making this card. This card's so fucking bad. I don't want to make it in the mirror at all, because most of the time you're just going to proc their freaking shit. I don't want to have this out there just to lock zones, because you're going to get lava golemed. I don't know. It's not that great, but against other matchups, it's fantastic. So, we also played 2 of the Diabluses. I think you could get away with 1. Even if they rip this, they're taking out utility, and they're not taking out engine. And I feel like that's fine. I only play 1 big eye. As I said, most of the time, they'll just rip this card out. That's fine with me, because I don't ever really need this card as much. As long as they keep everything else in, especially the Dark Arm. The Dark Arm is probably one of the best cards. Like, I ripped this out last night from the opponent, and he just couldn't do anything else. Because I go ahead and make Big Eye. I don't really care as much, because I kill you on the backswing. But if he would have made this, he would have killed me on that swing. Well, that's kind of how that goes. Double Zeus. I need an ulti. I have 1. I have a secret here, but Double Zeus. I don't have to explain that at all. They rip 1 from you. You still got 1 more to go. Nah, I'm going to save this card for last. I'll talk with it. The Garua, just for the draw play, along with your Pot of Prosperity. The Fur Hire, just to kind of link off and do your normal plays if you have to out with Ibly shit. And then, of course, Ibly target. Link Karibo. I've seen a lot of people still play this. This is the Flare Metal. I think I'm going to cut this card. I never make it. And most of the time, it has to be face up on the field to resolve to burn. So, it doesn't do a whole lot. And I think there's way better cards, like, maybe play Intes. So, you can Intes, so most of the time you're getting at least 2 attachments underneath your Rise Heart. You just at least have an Intes in this. So, you have at least a drop and a pop. And a drop pop is pretty solid against, like, the mirror or anything else. Because if you have a Rise Heart up and you use its effect, and let's say you just equip the Intes to it, at least whenever they go attack with Fenrir and they banish your Rise Heart face down, you just like, well, Intes, pop it, and I'm still continuing to live. So that might be my little change to the extra deck. Prosperity targets, like going first, is pretty standard stuff, because we never need this. I always get rid of this too. I usually get rid of 1 Diablos as normal. And if I was to do anything else, I usually throw 1 Arise Heart. Especially if I know, like, it's the mirror. I never get rid of my 3rd Arise Heart. I just throw away the 2nd Zeus. Because we don't really worry about it. Most of the time you make the board, you don't care. You're just killing them. Other than that, if it's not the mirror, I throw away the 3rd Rise Heart. And this is what I normally throw for my normal 6. After that, you're just kind of in trouble. If you have to do another pot, like, good lord, that is horrible. I don't see how you're playing through everything else. Because your extra deck's so freaking tight. It's very limited on what you can do and what you can't do. So, back to the side deck here. This is the side deck that I played. I like to switch some stuff up as I explained. But you got shifters. I mean, I kind of want to play this in the main again, but there's so much mirror matches. It's not worth playing in the main. Granted, it would be an easy card to side out, but if you play this in the main against the mirror, it's like, well, that was a dead card. This does absolutely nothing. Fantastic. 2 nibs. I'm probably going to bump this. I want to see it. It's really good against Trap Trick, too, if they don't play it, because they don't fear that you have the Nibiru. And instead of them going into the Rafflesia on your 5th summon, they just give something stupid like, what's his name? Time Thief Redoer or something better. Or they'll go for the one that lets them search a monster. You just, there you go. And then you just nib them, and you pretty much can win the game from there. Definitely 2 Droll. I respect Dark World a lot. I definitely feel like this is really good in the mirror going second. And I also try to only side anywhere from 4 to 5. You prefer this format, mirror, or last with tier? Definitely this format. 100% with this format. Because this format here, I feel like is pretty back and forth. It's not like instant shutout, you lose. Like last format with tier, that's 100% what happened. Like they had so many things that they had a counter trap that negated anything they wanted. They had one that stops any special summon monsters, and they had so much more they can just go, along with graveyard shufflers, along with mill 10, mill 10, mill 10. Like it was not very fun. That's why I didn't want to do. And plus, you're going in the time every round. I mean, not many. Where did Spooky Dogwood go? Everybody got rid of it because you're not going in the time anymore. So spells, we play the 1 Feather Duster. I figured there'd be a lot more spells or more trap decks. So we played the Lightning Storms, and then 2 Book of Moon. Like I said, Lightning Storms was subpar to me. And most of the time, like when I played the person, like my buddy Byron, he had the trap trick that save your spells and traps once, but he had it in the grave, but he didn't have the trap in grave. I'm like, yes, I got it. So Lightning Storm called back row with his 4 back row, and he Solemn Judgment me. I'm like, well, that went not well. And then I still had to fight through a Floodgate. I still had to fight through what was it, the normal trap that I can't remember what it was. It's one of the newest ones. It just lets you summon itself and everything. It was so much more to fight through, and it was not worth it at all. So maybe like a 3rd evenly, and maybe something else a little different. Maybe a Cosmic. I might play Cosmic instead. Those could be 2 Cosmic, and then I'll do some evenly matches in here too. Like I said, now this is probably the best card. That has all my spells, of course. I try to set it up to where I'm only siding maybe 4 to 5 cards in per matchup, going first or second. D-Barrier. Mirror match, skip a turn. Against Trap Trick, it's kind of like make Sierra and set some back row. It's not as good, but it's not as bad either, because I feel like Rafflesia really sets that deck up pretty well. Against Branded, you just call Fusion and skip a turn. That's just kind of the way that goes. And then the 2 evenly matches. These was in the main and everything. So I'm gonna switch some stuff out, like I said. But yeah, this card is so good. That's why I think Labyrinth is so good right now. Because they can search this and then play it during anytime they want. Along with like Eradicator. Eradicator's so good. The fact that you can just make and here it's the only thing that sucks about it, if I was to play it in this deck here, it's not as good because you kind of have to give it away. Like you don't do it with a Rise Heart, because if you do it with your Rise Heart, it just sucks ass. I feel like if you just have to do anything, it's Big Eye. You have to make Big Eye, and you're like, oh, I know what that card is. There's an Eradicator, so you just kind of lose the game from there. But I also thought about playing the Eradicator. Like, if I had to set up a right engine, maybe play 3 Eradicator, 1 or 2 Trap Trick. And you can do something a little bit crazy like that. But most of the time, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that you can mess with. That's what I was explaining. Like, it takes a lot of playtest right now to see where it goes, where it doesn't go. But that's how I played it last night. I wish I would have played. I guess I would have play tested a little bit more against Trap Trick. I wish I'd have done that. But I definitely want to play Cosmics. I feel like Cosmics might be a little bit better. I'm gonna drop the Storms. Yeah, I might just up the Nibiru's. But then again, like I said, there's another setup where we could play cross out Detonators in the main and see how we like it. Like everybody's maining evenly matches right now, like with the Trap Trick deck, and also with Labyrinth. So, and there is a couple of going second versions I've seen of Kashtira. I don't know how I feel about it, but now you can play one Nibiru in the main. You can play one evenly matched in the main, and 3 crossouts. So it's only 5 slots. I feel like that could probably be a thing too. So you don't get Ash Blossom on anything. You don't get evenly matched. You don't get Book of Eclipsed or Moon. It depends if you play it or not. You don't get debarriered either if you go second, whatnot in game 2 and 3 or whatever. So it kind of does have its own little thing, the counter reaction to it. But I'm going to play test one more time, and decide from what build I want to play. I'm probably gonna put the crossouts in here and see if I like it or not. I'm not going to test out the Adventure because I don't think the Adventure is very good at all. I just don't want to play test, and I don't want to play into a Lava Golem as much as I would not want to. It would suck if you go make a Rise Heart as normal and lock 2 zones, 3 zones, and then you have the Adventure set up, and they just hit your Griffin, and then they hit your Rise Heart, and you're just sitting there like, well, that sucks. Now you don't have no interaction during the turn, and they just kill you. Now, going forward into this weekend, like I said, this is a deck I know for sure that is going to either top or that is going to win, and that is Trap Trick. So, I will argue with everybody as much as I can about, listen, the mirror match is definitely important to, you know, sideboard for, main deck for, gear your deck for sure. Because, you know, normal events, everybody's like, oh, I'm playing the cash deck. I got this. I know how to play around all. You can play around everything you want, but it does not mean that it's going to happen every game. But the Trap Trick deck, like, trap decks in general, this format is insane. Last format, no. There was no trap decks, really. There was Tier Element, and there was Flu. I gotta get my word for the Ulti Enchantress. Dude, that's how I feel right now. Like, I bought, you know, 3 Ulti Book of Moons. I gotta play this card. but, you know, like I was saying, last format, there was no trap decks. The most that you had to deal with was a Wind Barrier Statue and Pin. Or you were just getting crazy locked and milled like 50,000 cards for Tier Element. That's all it really was last format. There was nothing crazy or difficult. Control was just kind of gone. This format, there's like 2 control decks in the format, and they're not just, you know, poopy decks. They're really good. I've seen and play tested with, you know, Trap Trick. I really like it. I play tested a lot with Labyrinth, so I know what the deck does and what it doesn't do, because that's the #1 key too, is learning what certain decks do. If I honestly had to say, I would lean the edge towards Labyrinth a little bit more than Trap Trick because of Lady Labyrinth. They can summon big bead sticks all they want, but if you activate a trap and Lovely Lady just sets any trap that she wants, she's searching Eradicator. Your back row's gone. 100% they're gone. So you're in some trouble. And like, yeah, you can kind of do your normal thing of banish my trap card, summon Myrmilio, pop a card, whatever. That's fine. But you can't target her or even affect her, really, with card effects. Because you can't target her and she can't be destroyed by card effects. As long as there's set trap cards on the field. Set spells and traps. Like, that's fucking scary. The best thing is, though, is their big welcomes don't bounce your guys. That's the best thing, too, because they're all unaffected by trap cards. Except for, like, your normal ones. They're only unaffected by trap hole cards. Like, who cares? But that also, like, the combo that I've been paying attention to is they'll go Big Welcome and they'll summon Lady Labyrinth. Or, yeah, it's just Welcome Labyrinth. And then they'll activate Big Welcome. They'll summon Servant. And then bounce the big lady back to her hand. And then it activates this Chain Link 1 Servant, either to search and do what she needs to do. Chain Link 2, or is it Welcome Labyrinth? And then at the end of the turn, if you wish, you can just activate her effect and summon her. I've been thinking about playing Labyrinth too. I just enjoy this deck a lot, man. I really enjoy this a lot. Like, this is my format. This is the 100% Brian Rose format for me. Because I love control decks. I love trap decks. And I don't want to play one. Because I really love this deck. But it does not mean that I'm not opposed to playing one. Because if I go and decide this weekend to pick up 3 trap trick structure decks, you're in some trouble. Because I'm going to play it, and I'm pretty good at control. But I feel like cash is just a little bit better. As long as you got it geared correctly. Like I said, the mirror matches are they're interesting the way that you can play around everything correctly. And if they brick, I mean, they brick. That's just the way it is. I think it's the fact that there's so many good busted cards that have such good synergy is why I want to play Cashtira. Like, I think out of all of them in the main, I think the Scareclaw is probably my favorite one. It just, the fact it can attack and defense. And if I go, say I go Fenrir, special summon, activate Fenrir effect, search the Cashtira, banish, summon the Cashtira, and then he has his own little Fenrir thing on the field, and he doesn't want to activate yet, or he doesn't at the time. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. This is already on the field, and you just got the Fenrir play. So you declare with Fenrir onto their Fenrir, activating your Fenrir effect to banish whatever the hell else you want to banish on their field. And on resolution, they cannot activate their Fenrir because it's negated by the Cashtira Scareclaw. And I can redeclare on something else, which is so good. And also, when I redeclare on that something else, that monster effect's negated too. So I can negate like 2 monsters, which is really nice. I think I did that yesterday to an opponent's Rise Heart. Because he thought whenever I would declare with the Fenrir, he was going to have a way to... He was trying to out his own board, which is nice, because he knew I had 2 monsters to deal something with. And he knew I had the Rebirth. So he let me summon that. I summoned out the Scareclaw first. He's like, sure. And then I activate Birth. He's like, sure. And I normal summon the Fenrir. And he's like, oh, okay. And enter battle phase. He's like, sure. I attacked him with Fenrir. And I went to activate Fenrir effect. He's like, I'm going to chain off and I'm going to banish your Scareclaw. And I was like, you can't because the monster's effect's negated. Because I already declared an attack, which considered it is battle. It was just small little interactions. He's like, oh, that's really good. It's fun though, man. I enjoyed it. It's one of the good locals that I've been to for a little bit now, and people know my name when I go in. They're like, oh, hey, Bozo. I'm like, hey, how's it going? They're really nice people too. They are awesome. Like I said, there's a few other locals I want to go to. I always do my TG on Sundays as normal. I always do them live and everything, so you guys can kind of pay attention, watch some cool stuff. Hey, Bozo, I know you. Ain't you that one guy? Aiden. But yeah, like I was saying though, I want to start going to different ones. I want to get to meet all of you guys a little bit. I want to play with you guys too. Like, how good are you? You know, how is I'm just talking? Am I a bad player? You know, kind of back and forth. And like, money match. No, it's a blast, man. It's just get my name out there a little bit too. It's kind of cool to have everybody talk with me. I've had a couple people like, hey, you want to collab? I'm like, well, yeah. Where are you at? Oh, you know, I'm in Michigan. I'm like, God, gonna pay for my flight? That's a bit much. I don't want to go like that far. That's like what, 6 hours? Nah, dude. I don't want to go all the way to Flint, Michigan. But yeah, I want to hear about you guys too. Like, tell me what your favorite deck in this format is for you. Not just, you know, competitive play, but what's your favorite deck of the format? What do you think is going to win a lot of the OTS championships this Saturday? I promise you right now, I honestly think Cash Tier is going to win at least out of the main three that I know of, which is Cincinnati, Columbus, and Dayton, which is No Limit Gaming, Heroes and Games, and I think it's +1. If I honestly had to guess what's going to win at +1, I'm going to say Cashtira. At No Limit Gaming, I'm going to guess Labyrinth. At Columbus, I'm going to guess Cashtira. Nah, I don't think Blackwings is going to get you there, bro. Now, it's a fun deck, 100%. I thought it was fun. You know, that was, as a nostalgic player here, I played forever in this game, dude. I'm 34 years old. I've been playing this game since it came out, and I love it. A lot of people that, you know, watch this video, I'm like, oh, yeah, dude, I remember that guy a long time ago, table judging and everything. Yeah, I've judged a lot. But my very first top 8 at a regional was with Blackwings. Absolutely loved Blackwings. It was just fun time. There was nothing like letting them make a board as normal. And most of the time, it was just heroes. It was nothing special. Yeah, good luck, bro. If you're coming back to win with tier, ask Jacob Smith how that went. But, I mean, if you like it, that's cool. That's a locals thing, man. Take it to a locals. But competitively, not so great. So, back in the day there, you would just go Whirlwind, Sirocco, and if you could drop, like, 2 Boar and a Gale, like, that's pretty much game over. That's, like, opening the nuts. And then you had also, like, good back row. Like, you had Bottomless Trap Holes, Icarus Attack. I'm not for sure what he played. I'm pretty sure he was playing the normal tier element deck with the polymerizations and all the crap. I don't know. All I know is he got wrecked by Josh playing Sword Soul, and that's saying a lot. So, like I said, though, I want to know from you guys, too, like, what locals should I go to next? I want to know you guys' favorite decks and everything. And contact me. Don't be scared to, like, you know, message me on Facebook. My name is Brian Rose. I've said it in every video. Comment, like, do what you wish to do. Definitely subscribe. We're going to try to do a lot more cooler videos. I like to collab with a lot of people, get to know them a lot more. Yeah, dude, we can do a lot. Hell, I've been wanting to do, like, 3v3s. I've been wanting to do that a lot. I've been also wanting to do a lot of, what we got? Playing Scareclaw on your tier. Yeah, Blue was playing that last Saturday. And trust me, bro, it's not good. But like I was saying, I've been wanting to do some 3v3. I want to do Iron Mans, too. Oh, my God, that'd be Iron Mans. If I could do, like, shop versus shop Iron Mans, like, I'll take 3 or 4 of my favorite people that I play with that are really decent. Come to your guys' locals and like, hey man, it's just the shop doesn't want to do, like, they don't do Iron Man. We could do it ourselves. Collab with me on it. Because I'd love to do some Iron Mans, bro. I love it. It's fun, especially since we get to, like, I get to watch it, because I love watching people play too. I absolutely just have a blast watching people play. But I also like it when people watch me. I love that pressure too. But yeah, I honestly think there's gonna be a lot of cash winning, but I think there's gonna be a Labyrinth that wins in LG1. I could be wrong about maybe the Cincinnati one. There might be a trap trick, but I feel like there's a lot more cash players because they're pretty decent players for sure. Like Justin and all them, Larry. There's a lot, and Nick. There's a lot of good people up there. I got to play them all at the Xbox tournament, which is pretty fun too. It was nice getting to see them. I've known them for a long time. So that's why I think it's going to be cash. I think most of them are probably playing cash. I don't think Larry's playing Sprite still. If he is, I mean, that's cool. Kudos to him. But that's what I was thinking for this format. It's a very trap heavy format, and you love to see it because I'm a trap guy. I'm probably gonna go to. Damn, I don't even know where I want to go this Saturday. Because, like, after my daughter's birthday party, I'm free. I just don't know where we want to go yet. I don't think Braden can go. It is kind of like hat version format. You're not wrong. Except for it's not like every deck's playing all the traps. I said, normally I have Braden on the channel with me a lot. And he's been kind of like sick and stuff. So I'm getting ready to go to Japan in like 10 days. So I'm not trying to get sick. That's why, like, when I go to the locals everywhere now, I'm wearing a mask. I'm not trying to get sick, because if I get sick, I can't go, and that's not going to be fun times for me. My wife would kill me, and I would lose this opportunity to finally go do something cool. Another thing is, too, I got a family member of mine, Savage Arm Wrestling. He's on YouTuber too. YouTuber, get it? Now he's a YouTuber that does a lot of arm wrestling. He also does a lot of fitness and stuff like that. He's having a big event over in Japan. That's where he lives. That's where we're going. We're going over to Japan, not just for vacation, just to hang out with him and get to see him again. We ain't seen him in a long time. I mean, a long time. So we're gonna go over there. I'm gonna be some of his like co-hosts and everything for the Savage Arm Wrestling stuff. Like I think it's Savage Fest and stuff like that. He's got some cool stuff going on for it, and you should definitely check him out if you're interested in stuff like that. There's a bunch of big names over there that's going to be there at this event. He's been promoting this a lot, so kind of go give him a like, check it out, man. I love it. We're going to have some videos coming up too, because he's a Magic player. You guys don't know, I played Magic before. I've made top 4 in events. I made top 8 in events in standard, but I'm going to move to modern too. I made top 100 in Star City. What else is there? I've also, he's a D&D guy, which is pretty cool. I've never really done a whole lot of D&D stuff, so maybe we try it. But we're going to do a lot of arm wrestling videos. We're going to do a lot of strongman videos. All that good stuff too. So it's going to be fun. I will do so many videos of Japan in general. Of like whatever I do, I'm probably going to have a recording going on so you guys can see. Also going to go and try to do an OCG local. Gotta be with me on this, because there's going to be a language barrier. And I don't know what deck I want to play yet. I took a picture of what I want to play, but I don't want to say. But, yeah, I got some cool stuff over there. Everything's pretty cheap, too. Nothing too expensive over there. There is a friend of mine, too, from Columbus. This is gonna be your year. Man, I hope so, to be honest with you. I hope so. I hope you get your... Do you have your invite yet? Nah, I don't need those. But do you have your invite, Andon? I can't remember. But anyways, no invite yet. Damn. We need to get you an invite first. This is gonna be your year. You better get your invite before Nationals. I have 6. 6 out of 7 events. I'm feeling pretty good about that. But and you only need 1, or I'd give you 1. But OCG stuff, like, it's pretty fun. I can't wait to actually get over and play and get to talk, like, you know, meet people. Hopefully the language barrier ain't too bad. But I have a friend that lives in Columbus by the name of Sunny. Definitely go check him out on YouTube. He does a crap ton of good videos for Yu-Gi-Oh! I do believe he just puts one out every Wednesday, and he does a live every Saturday night. Definitely check him out. Good friend of mine. He's like, dude, when you go over to Japan, I don't care what it is, you have to buy something and bring it back for me. Well, don't worry, Sonny. I've already been checking out, and I know exactly when I'm going to pick you up and bring you home. And, man, it's going to be something. I may even just, like, sign it. If I do, I'm going to sign on the sleeve so it doesn't hurt your card. But if this ever comes back, the deck does or whatever, and me and you decide to play each other for fun, you have to play that card. But I will definitely showcase it throughout the video whenever I get it and everything before I send it to him. Or, hell, maybe a video where I just bring it to him. But yeah, I got some cool little things I want to try to pick up in Japan too. I'm gonna pick up a crap ton of sleeves. OCG sleeves they're always tough to get. Man, I'm gonna buy a shit ton of OCG sleeves. Hell, I got a good little bit of sleeves now from this. Thanks to my sponsor, TGE Total Gaming Experience Chillicothe. I usually play there every Sunday and some Saturdays. Since I started up this little, dubs or scrubs episode things, I haven't really played there on a Saturday yet because I've been trying to go to multiple different ones and kind of play test and see what I wanted to do. And plus, it gets me out there to try other people or playing like different decks and everything. So it's just kind of getting my name out there, getting my some good videos for you guys, good content, along with just getting to meet people, see what they're doing. This locals is full of cash tier, or this locals is full of trap trick. This one's mixed. It's fun to see. But yeah, I'd like to get a few more people with me whenever I start going to do this stuff too. Most of the time, like I usually have 2 to 3 people that goes with me. But if they're sick, I'm going by myself. Yeah, dude, TGE is the best place to go, man. I'd love to go in there. I love playing there. The store owner, Chris, they're all nice as can be. They have a lot of stuff. Most of the time, like I said, I go there. They're my sponsor. They hook me up with sleeves. TG, yeah, dude, Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon, you're not wrong. They have a crap ton of people for Pokemon on Saturdays. Shout out to my friends that pretty much dominate over there. It's Big Nick Morris, awesome dude. You guys have been killing it. Will Malone, you guys have been killing it in Pokemon, bro. I'm so proud of you guys. You didn't do the greatest here in Brian Land of Yu-Gi-Oh, but you did do okay. But you guys are fucking killing it over in Pokemon. So I may, whenever the rotation pops around, you may see me come over. I may come over and take you guys in that challenge. Not a problem, man. But yeah, I got a good community of people. That's hard to find too, like good community of people. A lot of people like over at the playground, which is underground, they don't really care for me. I'm fine with that. We had our fallouts. So other than that, you guys have my, my thought on the format and what I'm playing, what I think other stuff's going to be playing, and how they play correctly. I truly think that Cashier is probably still the best deck. I don't think Trap Trick and Labyrinth is too far behind. The branded deck is definitely not far fucking behind. The gimmick puppet stuff is insane. I think that should be banned as quick as possible, but we know how Konami loves to ban, turn skips. But it's just the way it is. And there's not really there's no hard counter to out that either. I guess Ghost Bell, but I'm not citing Ghost Bell just for one card. But I appreciate you all coming through, talking with me. Don't forget to like, sub, please sub, like, sub, and comment down below. Let me know you guys are locals. I'll catch you all later.